Ooh, doggy. What's going on, beautiful people? I hope and pray that you all are doing incredibly well, phenomenally well. Listen, on this video, I want to talk about purchasing a property subject to the existing mortgage, aka sub 2. I want to talk about how to offer it, what is it, and how do you even write this up on the contract. But before I dive into it, please like, comment, subscribe. We're literally 3 subscribers away from hitting 3,000 subscribers. So please subscribe and share this video if you get value out of it. Okay. Now, let's talk everything sub 2, or no, maybe not everything, but quite a bit sub 2. All right. Sub 2 is one of my absolute favorite strategies. Okay. And this is one that you definitely need to be adding to your tool belt. Imagine this, that you are building a house and all you have is a hammer, right? There's not going to be much building going on. Making sense? So when you have multiple different strategies like a cash offer, like a novation, like a sub 2, like seller financing, it allows you to create win-win situations on so many different properties and so many different situations. And sub 2 is no different. Okay. Now, let me tell you what a sub 2 is not. It is not a loan assumption. Okay. Those are completely different things. What a sub 2 is we are purchasing the property subject to the existing mortgage. So whatever loan is in place stays in place. Okay. Let's say, for example, you own a home and you have a 30-year loan on that house, you have a 4% interest rate, and your monthly payment is $1,500 a month, right? That loan stays in place. Those terms do not change, okay? Now, when we go to close on that house gets deeded over to me. I own the home. I can do whatever I want to do with that house. I can live in it. I can wholesale it. I can fix it up and flip it. I can keep it for a rental, right? The house, the deed is transferred into my name. The ownership is transferred into my name, but the loan stays in place. This happens a lot for couples who are divorced. Let's say, for example, my property right here that I personally live in is in my name. You know, if my wife decided to leave me, preferably she doesn't, right? And she gets the estate, she gets the house, then guess what? That house gets deeded over to her, and that mortgage typically stays in my name, right? And she'll just be paying it. So this happens a lot with families who get divorced, right? So we understand that, we know that's what's going on, okay? So the loan does not get paid off. Now, where this actually comes into play for you as a real estate investor, let's say, for example, if I go to a seller and I'm making a cash offer, and let's say my cash offer is $100,000, and the seller comes back and says, well, Clifford, that doesn't work for me because I owe $110,000 on the mortgage, right? And so now I can get creative. Okay. Now I can go to that seller and say, hey, Mr. Seller, in some situations, you know, when y'all owe more than what we can offer cash, would you be willing or open to us taking over these payments? Okay. You will be surprised how many sellers are open to this. Listen, my very, 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 very first deal was a property in a town called Arlington, Texas, if you're familiar with the DFW area. And it was a couple who was facing foreclosure and they were also going through divorce. And this is the scenario that happened, right? They owed more than what I could offer on that property. And so I came and said, well, hey, would y'all be open to me just taking over the payments? Their response was, you can do that? Absolutely, I can do that. And put yourself in their position. If you're going through a divorce and your house is facing foreclosure, think about the tension and the burden, the financial burden that they're facing, right? finances is the number one reason for divorce. So think about how much friction this is causing, not just in their marriage, but in their life. And then you come in as a creative real estate investor and say, hey, Mr. Seller, I can alleviate that massive burden that's weighing you down. Do you see how powerful that is? And now they're like, you can do that? Absolutely. Right. And so when I do this, now I go into how do we offer this to the seller? So now I say, hey, Mr. Seller, yes, we can do this. Now let me ask you, realistically, Mr. Seller, how much do you need in your pocket, right? For a fresh start, maybe to help put a down payment on an apartment, maybe to help with moving expenses, etc. Okay. So on average, this is anywhere from maybe $5,000 to $10,000 that we put in their pocket. Sometimes not that much. It really just depends on the deal and the situation and the numbers. Okay. If they go and say, hey, we need $100,000, no, this is not going to work. A quick rule of thumb for you to be able to tell if this is going to be a deal or not, when you run your comps, if your entry fee, meaning any back payments, meaning any cash to the seller, is more than 10% of the ARV, we typically move on. Okay. Because you have to think a sub two should also be convenient for you as a buyer, whether you want to buy it or whether you want to wholesale it. Right. And so we have this conversation with the sellers on how much do they realistically need, right? And once we come to an agreement on that, on the actual contract, the last part of this is how we actually write this up. When we put on our contract, we literally put in the special provisions, purchasing property subject to the existing mortgage. The current loan will not be paid off. Seller is to receive $5,000 upon closing and funding, right? So they know that, okay, the loan isn't getting paid off, that the seller's going to receive $5,000 when we go to close, whatever it may be. Okay. So that's how I offer a sub two, write a sub two up, and negotiate it with the seller. So prayerfully, this was helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you want me to elaborate on, expand on anything, comment below or create an additional video. I don't mind doing it. If a subscriber requests a video, you do have to be subscribed. I do not mind recording a video at all. I want this channel to be a channel that you can come to as a resource to help you get deals closed. But anywho, have a beautifully blessed day. I'll see y'all on the next one.